What is up, you guys? Barokoshama here with another Elemental Shaman video, and this one is also going over the changes that are coming in BFA Alpha for the Elemental Shaman. We're doing a quick discussion video. This is pretty much the second part of my first video for the new series I'm putting out for the BFA Alpha series. Every build that comes out that actually has some really good information to talk about, I'm going to make a video about it and discuss my thoughts, feelings, what Blizzard's doing right, what they can improve on, and yada yada. So I just released a new one for single target, and pretty much the vast majority of the changes that's happening for the Elemental Shaman come BFA. But this one I wanted to focus more on the stuff that I missed in the last video just because of how long that one was currently taking. This one's going to be covering more AOE combat stuff and maybe a little bit more discussion on some of the single target spells and talents as well. So in the last video we talked about all the shaman changes that were happening on the MMO champion website. These are data mine changes. And we pretty much went over all the single target changes that happened to talents being moved around, talents being switched out for new ones, Azurite gear being talked about. So if you guys want to go back and check that out, I'll be leaving a link to that video in the description down below. This one's we're going to be talking about more about the AOE changes, how that feels, because Elemental Shaman is very well known currently in Legion for its massive AOE output. On the alpha, however, we're kind of lackluster. It doesn't feel the same, and I'm a little worried about it. So in this video, we're going to be talking about what changed. High Voltage is a new talent that came out in the BFA Alpha a couple builds ago, I think, and then they just recently changed it. That actually really hurt our AOE. So they actually removed the Chain Lightning portion of the talent, which is a big deal because on the level 30 talent tree, there's really nothing on there that actually gears towards area of effect combat at all. Echo the Elements revolves around casting Lava Burst. High Voltage revolves around casting more Lightning Bolts, Overloads, and then Ice Fury. Well, Ice Fury is Ice Fury, right? It's frost damage, single target based. It doesn't make any sense to put it to this talent tree and then not offer a AOE talent for this, because we at least in the 15 talent tree, we have something that's going to increase our AOE damage. We have Elemental Blast. We would still use this because it gives us more stats, right? Whereas High Voltage, because of the way they nerfed it, not having Chain Lightning there with Elemental or with Lightning Bolt to maybe cause a second Elemental Overload, it really hurts this talent tree in terms of choices. As far as my point of view is, I'd either go with High Voltage or Echo the Elements, but more High Voltage because of Stormkeeper. If I'm faced with a single target situation in AOE combat scenario, I would rather have the more passive damage from High Voltage than just sitting on these 2 stacks of Lava Burst the entire time. If I'm sitting on 2 stacks of Lava Burst while I'm AoEing, this talent's useless. It doesn't make any sense. So I'm really disappointed in the fact that they got rid of the Chain Lightning portion of High Voltage. Hopefully they revert it now that it's on the tier 30 talent tree section. Talking about more talents though, Liquid Magma Totem still does its same thing, but it also got buffed recently on the alpha build. Its spell power percentage got increased by 1.4%, which, taking into account the number crunch that is happening in this expansion, I'm losing words here. That's not too bad at all. It's a nice little buff, and I'm going to be showing you guys exactly what AOE combat looks like when we get into this. My next talent that I want to talk about is the tier 90 talent trees. So Aftershock, out of these 3, I think Aftershock is the most helpful for AoE situations because it refunds 30% of all of our Maelstrom spent, including Earthquake, right? Earthquake's already at a very high Maelstrom count as far as like what you need in order to cast it. In my opinion, for what I've been testing, this Maelstrom value is far too high. And I'll show you guys exactly what I mean when I get into what the combat looks like. But Aftershock definitely helps to dial that down a bit and make it more of a smooth combat, allowing you to cast more frequent earthquakes, which currently on Legion, earthquakes are huge damage increase in area of effect. Their knockdowns help with tank utility, the amount of damage that you can actually get out of this, and it counts as physical damage too. So if you have like warriors in your group and they Colossus Smash, right? Pretty sure Colossus Smash increases physical damage done to the target, right? Maybe it's not, maybe it's just for the warrior, but anyway, physical damage is nice with the earthquake. Aftershock pairs well with it, especially because of its high Maelstrom value, or Maelstrom cost value. Pardon me. But yeah, out of those three talents to pick from, I would most likely go with Aftershock currently on the alpha build. And talent tree 100. Obviously, we're going with Stormkeeper. That's a no-brainer. It's a 1.3 second cast on a 1 minute cooldown. Charges yourself with lightning, causing your next 2 lightning bolts or chain lightnings to be instant cast and trigger an elemental overload on every single target. 2 whole chain lightnings. So you know what happens on the first cast of your chain lightning right now with when you use Stormkeeper currently on live Legion? How you just like shoot out a bunch of lightning and it hits everything that's there. That happens twice now. Pretty good. Pretty much a no-brainer. I don't see unlimited power becoming that much of an increase, just because like high voltage would have made it nice to work with unlimited power if chain lightning was still in there, and then having that extra passive haste might have come in handy in an AOE situation to get out more casts of chain lightning. But the way that Stormkeeper just is in comparison to how our stats are right now, it's pretty much a no-brainer. So I'm going to go ahead and get into the look and feel of combat for AOE situation right now. So I am spec'd into Elemental Blast, High Voltage. It's a wasted talent, but whatever. There's nothing better. Liquid Magma Totem, Aftershock, and Stormkeeper. So the way that I see combat opening up here is just an Elemental Blast into a Bloodlust, or like using Fire Elemental, then an Elemental Blast into a Bloodlust, placing down your Liquid Magma Totem, getting your Stormkeeper activating, shooting lightning out, and then trying to get as many earthquakes out as possible. So let's do it. Elemental Blast, Lust, Stormkeeper. Oh, I forgot to put down Liquid Magma Totem. There we go. And earthquakes. One thing that I want you guys to notice here, though, is that I am casting like 3 to 4 lightning or chain lightnings before I can actually use an earthquake. And that's not very... It's definitely not used. I'm not used to that at all, because on live I only have to cast 1, maybe 2 at most, because of how Mastery works, and I'm gaining way more Maelstrom on live. And also, Earthquake on live only costs 50 Maelstrom. Aftershock definitely helps with that, but a problem that I'm seeing with the damage output of Earthquake and the damage output of Chain Lightning is Chain Lightning beats out Earthquake. And for the amount of Maelstrom that Earthquake is used, or the amount of Maelstrom that is needed to use Earthquake, that's not okay. So currently, Chain Lightning hits for about a little over 800 for like a regular hit, right? And it could hit up to 2, maybe 3,000 crit. And then whereas Earthquake damage, your regular hits are only 334 at my current stats, and your crits are at just above 850. So comparing the two, because of the amount of Maelstrom that is used to, like I said, use the Earthquake, either the Maelstrom needs to come down on the Earthquake, or the damage needs to be skyrocketed. Because that amount of Maelstrom for that little amount of damage is not okay. But anyway, guys, those are my thoughts for the current situation for AOE with the Elemental Shaman on the current alpha build. If you guys have any questions or comments or concerns, definitely leave them in the comment section of this video. If you guys want to subscribe for more Elemental Shaman content, I highly highly recommend it. Obviously, I'm putting out more and more videos lately, so I really want to see you guys getting better at the class that you love so much. Obviously, Elemental Shaman, right? Like it if you like it. Again, subscribe if you want more Elemental Shaman content. If you guys want to follow me on my Twitter and Instagram social medias, I'll be leaving the links to those in the description down below, along with the link to my Twitch live stream at twitch.tv/Barokoshama, where I stream live pretty much every day. So if you guys have any questions that you want to throw at me on my live stream, or you just want to come and hang out in the chat, you know, all the power to you. Again, my name's Barokoshama. It's been real. Keep calm and Maelstrom on.